Hi everyone, welcome to Authentic Ingenuity Entrepreneur. My name is Minna Crichton. I'm the narrator of this video clip and all the social media video clips on my YouTube channel and Facebook page. Just a reminder for those who are have been following me, or maybe you're new on board, but my YouTube channel and my actual Facebook page is an exhibit. Okay, so don't get offended if I don't put you on my page or anything like that. It's because it's actually an exhibit for my court cases. So today I'm just going to do the usual and go on to what's actually on my heart, feel my heart to talk about. Obviously, everyone knows I'm an exploited individual, historically without my permission or consent. So now that I'm actually outside and I'm using the system and just going through the new court system that's in place for everyone else. So there's lots of good tips, from my video clips. It is a real live court case, everybody. So it's not. I'm not pretending. No one is making me say something, or I'm not talking on behalf of anybody. It's just me being the real me. I am litigating my case. For those that don't kind of have an understanding where I'm coming from, I'm a paralegal for my case. I don't have a law degree, but our legislations do allow us to do that as an individual, because it's my personal property. It's all about my existence, my ideas, my identity, my entity, my testimony. Yeah, everything personal, and it's all about my real life facts coming life. So yes, but it is a real court case. Everything I'm talking about is real. But what's actually on my heart today, I will be showing you exactly what an unlawful judgment is, or what is called unlawful strike. Most of the evidence itself is already on my YouTube channel, and then you can all just decide for yourself. But I have contested it, and today I will be focusing on the Ministry of Health case. So quite clearly, if you've been watching my YouTube channel, unfortunately, the real reality is, after years of me contesting the unlawful strikes and doing everything I've been doing in the courts, it's been quite frustrating for me, because just the reality of the repercussions and the things that they've actually made me go through, they have made me suffer, and then, it's just been so personal and intimate. It's inhumane, and my case is definitely a crimes against humanity. I think what really made me really upset was just the reality of why they were using me and what they were using me for. So they have used me for a global game. Okay, little did I know that in the beginning. I just knew within my space something radically wrong was going on. But I didn't understand in the moment what was going on, or why all these people were following me, and then all these just different things that I detected in the moment that just didn't wasn't natural or normal. But it has been quite a big, been really frustrating, facing the reality that people have actually used me for embezzlement, money laundering, definitely tax evasion, relationship scams globally. They have used me for illegal Commonwealth games. So I am the aggrieved victim. So if, I know I've you can tell I get angry sometimes, and I've reacted by not saying nice words, but that is because I am the aggrieved victim, and the things that people have done to me, or the system that has done to me, is inhumane, and it is definitely crimes against humanity. And I'm just grieving and just furious of the things that when I look back at what they've done and what could have done that to avoid what I've gone through from happening. But anyway, we can't do anything about that now. But however, the system is set out so that victims are eliminated and never go back and address, or for people to actually find out what actually happened, what went wrong. But it is a very, very, I believe, in anything in history, it's the most inhumane, the most serious system, or slavery-like system to actually happen to any individual. Okay, but I am a witness to it, and so this is my story. So I hope get enlightened of the new system and how it actually works. A lot of the things I've gone through I didn't know existed until I actually went through it. So I'm from the old system, but unfortunately the system, all it is, it's just a money laundering system from my own personal experience, secret thieving of people's intellectual property and being used for different things without their consent, like forced labor. What they've done to me is, like, I've worked hard on my court cases only for it to be sabotaged and for the judges to make unlawful strikes. So I've basically gone through the system, and I have actually exhausted it. So keep in mind, I'm actually the victim. I'm not the offender. The offender is actually the Crown, meaning the government. So I can understand why people, get quite scared, because it is against the government. But unfortunately, the laws are made out to protect the public and the government. And I don't know, something needs to change, because it's a global game. And if I don't make it, there's no hope for anybody else. But anyway, I'll just continue. So the whole idea really is me versus the co-defendants. In my case is like several body corporates who the Crown are representing. So they have used me like an illegal scientific experiment in the beginning, which is a breach. Common sense is, it doesn't matter who we are. No one has that right to do that to anybody without their consent, okay? So the whole idea of why I am actually contesting the unlawful strikes or the judgments made against me, because that's not true. It's fraud, and it's all consistent with my evidence versus theirs. And I'm fighting for my reputation and for my integrity as an individual, and my reputation also, and everything that I have, all the good things and that I have achieved personally, and I've done quite well. I know I have. So I'm actually opposing versus the substitutes that the Crown, okay, or whoever's behind all what I'm going through, they are using substitutes to substitute me and then divert the evidence, or divert my good fruits to them, making a false illusion and fake news and everything to the public, which is actually illegal. So they have animated me globally, secretly for years, and that is clearly what the evidence show. So I'm contesting that. Also, I'm a witness to serial killer coding their victims globally. It's a game, guys. So this is the new age global game. So anyone can be a victim to it, okay? It's ruthless. It's cruel. It's, like I said, it's inhumane and illegal. So what I've actually disclosed on my YouTube channel is from my own what I witnessed and what I see in my environment as the person being used like a product to promote others. So basically they've taken away all my rights, and this is where you get the public scrutiny. I'm being coded, and so this is where you get people in my space, and I don't know what the heck they came from or why they're there, but it's all part of the global, it's a sport. And it is a global one. It is actually very, very, very serious, because if you don't fight back, they will eliminate you, and eventually the whole idea is they don't want you to fight back the system. They want to keep people from contesting what they've done. So what it actually means by law, everyone, it actually means that people in public in the government have actually committed perjury. Okay, so and then you've got everybody else participating in the game, not knowing anything about it, but they're just all participating, attacking the actual innocent civilians. Okay, so but it's a combination of different people. It can happen to anyone. So yeah, I'll just go with it. Okay, so keep in mind, I'm a human being, okay? I'm entitled to laws just like everybody else, but it is a left behind case. It is definitely breaches, okay? So just from a single breach, it has caused a home invasion. So basically, I'm dealing with advanced breaches by organized crimes. And so everything within the moment is, or the incidents in the moment that I have mentioned on my statements of claim and that in the courts are actually true incidents, and it's just me basically proving to the court that it actually happened. But it is only because it's a left behind case, and so now I'm actually the original going backwards so I can go forward, but I am contesting everything that they've done to me while I was working for my employer. That was actually wrong. So this is what I've used this poster just to kind of get everybody in the mindset where I'm coming from. My situation, even to today, is a very critical crisis set of circumstances. The opposing allies know that, and they want to keep me in that environment. And that is what they've done historically, which is not safe for anybody. With everything that I've gone through personally, what I've gone through is absolutely serious. It shouldn't happen to anyone, but it is. So by nature and natural and culture and my kind of lifestyle, I am personally a private person. I'm an introvert, and that's just my culture and what I'm used to. When I was working for the government, I'm just one of these people just focusing on my job and my private life, things that matter. Anything else, I wasn't into social media, didn't care, didn't have time. And but however, I did have a private life, and I loved my private life, and I still would be if I hadn't gone through what I've gone through. But I feel like God has pushed me out of my comfort zone to do what I'm doing, because by law and by right, what's happened to me should never happen to anyone, but it has. So I'm contesting it because it's a global game. Okay, it's very dangerous. So what actually happens here, it is sinister. Okay, it is definitely a conspiracy after the fact. That's what the evidence will show. And I am an exploited individual, meaning, people have just contaminated every single area of my life. So home invasions taken place just from a breach. Okay, so the victimization is personal, it's intimate, it's in the moment, meaning the opposing allies are glued. They're watching everything, my bank accounts, whoever I'm texting personally, they're reading texts. They're watching everything. The relationship scam individuals are glued to me. So there's probably several perpetrators. Okay, so there's several laws that is actually applicable to me as a victim. In fact, I'd say probably every single legislation has been broken upon me, because the personal attack is intimate. I'm glued to them. They're glued to me. Okay. So this one here is, I'd say, probably be one of them that is relevant, where everyone is liable for imprisonment for 7 years, threatens to kill or do grievous bodily harm to any person. So in my case, they have done grievous bodily harm, more so mental injury, playing games with my mind, so influencing my mind with what they're doing with their psychological indirect abuse and everything, and hurting my feelings. Also, that would come under this law. Okay, so there's other laws that will come under this, but this here is also was like home invasion evidence, that home invasion's taken place for anyone to do what they've done to me so intimately and personally. Home invasion has taken place, meaning the opposing allies have used me, they've studied me, so they're actually playing games with my soul, hurting my feelings, but it's real, okay? It's real, it's life-threatening, it's serious. Also, what the judges have written is unlawful strikes. So, you know, the unlawful strikes and things said on the judgment has definitely ruined my reputation, hence is a reason why I can't go forward, and then I'm having all these secret societies still using me for a pecuniary advantage. And because unlawful strikes is actually, you know, they're written, like, you know, the judgment's written by some people in authority, and so they've caused defamation with those judgments. I don't want to kind of like take this video on too long. I just wanted to focus on the Ministry of Health, okay, because I know I've told you guys there are actually other clips I've already spoken about what was said in court. That is the actual truth of my version of what actually happens, but all these things, like the transcript, can actually be retrieved for my court case, okay, as evidence. That's how it usually works when honest men and women of integrity go and investigate such cases like mine. That is fraud, because unlawful strikes, if you don't know what it is actually fraud, okay? It's false. The information is false. So I'm contesting that still, and I have actually laid legal charges against the Ministry of Health, okay? The other interesting thing I found, which I think is important I tell, is that I have discovered that they are changing the laws, okay? Anything that I say is done, they're going and deleting it, obviously, because they're trying to create a system so they can use it for other people to do what they've done to me. So that's pretty serious on its own, okay? So, you know, I have historically, going back to 2006, used all the laws that were available to me for me to actually, you know, get closure, get my justice, but they have gone and deleted it after I've put everything together, okay? So my case is actually pretty good if you're into criminology, because I'm giving you pure evidence, okay? I'm the victim and I'm litigating my case. I do my own research, and I'm actually quite what I would, you know, you'd call an expert because of my background, and because I did the job, and I'm just doing my own case, putting it together, okay? So this here is actually, I've already got a video clip actually on this, so me actually talking about what actually happened in the court. So today I thought I'll just show the judgment written by the judges, and then those that watching it, you can read it for yourself. It's quite long, and I don't know, you know, everybody has access to these things, but I do find these judgments quite you know, trying not to be upset about it, because you know, it's insulting what they've written, but I have actually contested everything. So, and I'm still contesting it, but I have pressed criminal charges legally, okay? So what you're reading here, okay, this here was contested, and I still contest that, okay? So, you know, one thing I have found when I was working for the government, I used to do handle, you know, serious fraud cases, murder cases, like really serious cases, okay? So I do know from common knowledge that when women have a blood test of pregnancy, it is usually, well, they say it's 99% accurate. I say it's 100% accurate, okay? So I'm still contesting that to this day, okay? And all that is actually on the information that I have submitted to court. But the way they've treated my file is that no one wants to handle it because they know it's serious, meaning they would rather let somebody get murdered than actually do their job. okay, because they all know what's happened to me historically is very serious. So they all want to save each other's jobs, making the government system a corrupt one. And also behind all this is money, okay? So they owe me lots of money because it's my case, okay? Because they have to, according to the laws, they have to compensate victims for all the crimes that they've done. So I've actually pressed criminal charges against the Ministry of Health. But I've heard, I followed up with the government. Quite obviously, our government's dismantled the Ministry of Health, so they should. Because I'm a product of the corrupt system that they've used me for. But it's so serious, okay? It's so serious. So I'm just scrolling it down. You can read it for yourself in your own time. I know this will actually upset some people who do know me, but this is pure evidence of what they are, what's in the system. And what I have found is that the Crown, or the people that are on the side of these lawyers, or whoever they are, they're representing them, they're helping each other, okay? That is the downfall I have found, and that is the game. They've coded me, and then they've turned it into a Commonwealth game. So all these Commonwealth countries, I feel like, all attacking me when I'm by myself. So it's actually really serious. But congratulations to the honest investigators. It is working. Okay, so I know that what I'm doing is working because I know they're scared, and they should be. Okay, so I've actually sued the Ministry of Health for actually it's I've already gone over how much it is. It's $10 million per corporate body. Okay, so this also is a warning for everyone else that it's a corporate body. It's like either corporate body or incorporate body. If you don't know what that is, it's somebody who doesn't have a license, but you're still, because you can still have a business and not have a license depending what it is. So you don't need a license to represent yourself like what I'm doing, because it's all about me. Okay, no one knows me better than me, so it's my right to. I'm trying to protect my personal property. So my court cases is my personal property. Okay, that's why I'm contesting it, and I've just been through so much with what they've done to me that it's just been so inhumane. It's been cruel, ruthless, and I could say the worst things. But you'll understand if you went in my shoes for 6 months. It's just so inhumane what they've done. Especially when I've worked in the government myself, you just do not do what they're doing, and then they're actually what they're actually doing is they're trying to cover up each other's job and doing petitions to stop me from getting my justice. Okay. So that's what they're doing. The other thing is the compensation money. Okay, they don't want to. I don't know. They don't want to pay it because that's why we victims do get compensated, so they can protect themselves, so they can do what everybody else is doing to protect themselves. Change their name, move, relocate, stuff like that. But I have not been able to go forward. They've actually pinned me down. And they've all just taken turns using me, and it's been so frustrating for me. And not only that, they're endangering my family. They're endangering my immediate family in the process. It's not their families that is going through what I've gone through, but that's just not good. But they are inciting globally to help each other. So that's why I've had to contest all the things that I have to do with Henry Cavill and myself. That's another topic on its own. But today I just want to focus on this. I'm just doing it slowly so you can actually read it for yourself, because I know a lot of the criminal judges and lawyers are watching my case. But whoever's doing the scheduling, okay, so I don't want to point the finger at the judges for this, because my personal experience is that I have found the courts are sabotaging my case. I've had some of my legal documents being retyped. Okay, I've had some of them they've retyped it, and I just know my own work and the wording, and I put hours and hours into my work. But the reason why they're doing it is because they've used the Mental Health Act on me to defame my reputation, so nobody will believe me. Okay, so that's why they're doing what they're doing, and that is illegal. So I'll just keep scrolling it so you guys can just pause it and read for yourself, because obviously it's quite long. But I did tell the judges, all the judges in my cases, that I will be contesting and I want to press criminal charges. I did try and actually get this transferred to the criminal jurisdictions going back when the Ministry of Health case was in 2016. That's when it started. It was a different barrister at that time. It was Paul White for Ministry of Health and Hannah Stewart for the Ministry of Health. No, Hannah Stewart, sorry, was Citymed. But Paul White was for Ministry of Health. Okay, so then the lawyers changed at the judiciary review. Okay, so I've used the whole system. I've exhausted it. Okay, so if you want to know more about my evidence contesting against the Crown, it's on YouTube. Okay. It's only fair, we're all allowed to have a audience, to make up, to decide. When I did do my court case, they give out a form, when you can actually apply if you can't afford, if hardship for the fees. So I did use that one, and I did put in there for public interest, but the courts intentionally didn't. They didn't do anything I'd ask. Okay, so that's what's happened. They've done their own thing because they had no intention of, allowing me to, get my justice. Okay, so that's the end of this one here. So I'm dealing with either natural justice versus organized crime. Okay, so my whole profile is definitely organized crime. Otherwise, if, the unlawful strikes shouldn't follow, but that's exactly what has happened. Now, going back to the councils, I was just talking about the councils. Okay, legally by law, and it's part of actually the court protocols, that the councils actually have to legally by law withdraw from a case. They can't just give it to another person. They have to actually legally withdraw in court. However, Paul White never withdrew legally. Okay. Then we had a new lawyers taking over. Just one moment. Yeah, I was just trying to bring up the documents that are written just to confirm who actually is the new lawyer. So the new lawyers is Meredith Connell, and they were Katie Craig and Catherine Craig, Suzanne Shaw. Okay, but before them it was actually Paul White. Okay, and I actually won all my court cases, guys. So it's been really frustrating for me, the fact that the unlawful strikes are written, but it is my right as a citizen and as an individual to contest that. Okay, the other thing I have definitely found with this game, they've turned what's happened to me, they've turned it into a cultural and a religious scam. Okay, and the whole idea is, quite obviously, the whole idea is that I'm on a death row. Okay, there's no other word to explain, but the evidence will show that that was the motive and the intent of those who've actually stolen of me. It's like they are just, yeah. So victims are being used for trafficking rings. It's a trafficking ring 100%, but it's a global one. And it does involve relationship scams globally. So everything on my YouTube channel and everything is straight from the mouth of a victim to it, okay? It's really, really serious. Okay, guys, it's even more serious when you ring the cops and then they won't intervene. So yeah, it's taken me a while to get used to what was going on and to even accept what was going on. But I do feel like I'm on the defense all the time. And I'm going to try my best to keep my videos in the moment until my court cases are complete. So keep in mind, guys, it's espionage, it's global. Okay, so what's happened to me can happen to anybody. All right, and the penalty is 14 years imprisonment. So all the corporate bodies linked to me, if you've all participated, whether you just are new staff but you've done something, you put your whole company at risk, because that's not my problem if you're brand new, because there's clear evidence that is what the corporate bodies are doing. They're putting inexperienced people on call center, or they're putting inexperienced people at the counter to serve me. So that they seem, and then I just feel like they're using my immediate family and friends in the past, before I feel like I've lost everything. But they've kind of used everyone like a block. So they are using the call center and all these new people, the front counter, like to block. That's what they're doing, and that's why they're actually coding and inciting, and then people are just sabotaging you intentionally. So if people talk to you, they don't tell you everything you need to know. They give misleading information. So if you feel that is happening to you, I suggest you ask for a manager. Okay. Another tip is ask for an appointment at the counter. Don't take on board anything someone says to you at the counter as the truth. Always ask for somebody senior, or if they're not available, make an appointment. Okay. Because I just didn't realize how bad it was until I actually went through it. Like really good people are waiting patiently to be served, only to end up waiting all day. But little do they know they're actually being targeted, and then they're using the cameras and the people behind the scene to actually spy on you. And sometimes I believe they do it intentionally to make people get angry, and then they end up ringing the cops or something like that. Of course, but it's intentional, and it shouldn't be happening. If there's a consistency of that's how you are being treated by the corporate body, it's very likely you're blacklisted. So I'm just disclosing blacklisting kind of tactics that these people are doing. According to the law, it's illegal. So take note and take down who you speak to. I've been quite I'm so assertive sort of a person, and I get so sick and tired of it all the time. And they've made mistakes that, that's just caused me extra stress. And then when I say something, okay, I'm going to get it reviewed, then they quickly try and fix the mistake before they get into trouble. So, that's a sign that they knew exactly what they were doing, but they were just, sabotaging, or being used to sabotage or to stop something from happening. So those are the kind of things you need to read into, as don't accept it as normal. You have rights to be served, and to use the system like anybody else, but just take down evidence. And so basically, I am actually fighting for the protection of my personal property. So if you watch all my other videos, I've actually described what you would classify as personal property. Anything about you as a human being is personal, okay? That is all about you. Unless you have consented to it. I've met a lot of people who just do not care about the little things. Unfortunately, if you don't, it's the little things, the little leavens the lump. So if you actually, that's a saying, it's actually a spiritual saying, but it's quite true. If you ignore the little things, and then, because that's what's happened with me, they've all started from little things, and I've known they've been wrong in the moment. So I've taken action to to defend myself, and now I've got sufficient evidence to make corporate bodies accountable. But because of the historical cases of me being blacklisted and used for relationship, historically everything is actually quite believable. So it is an internal corruption, and people are secretly breaking the law. Okay, because of the unlawful strikes and everything that has happened to me, personally, my case clearly is a conspiracy to bring false accusation against an individual. Okay, so, but they haven't only just done false accusation, they've also created false accusation. That's why I'm denouncing in the moment anything that is fake that will affect me or affect those that I love. So, but I am the innocent civilian in this matter, which makes the corporate bodies involved criminally responsible. Okay, I have also found in the systems doctors are making up, their own laws. They're not actually looking at our laws here in New Zealand, so it pays for you to know your laws. If you don't know your laws, go to the Citizen Advice Bureau and ask somebody, find somebody who will help you just to find out anything to do with anything that you want to do and what law is applicable to you. Because I have found in my system, when you are blacklisted, they're lying about everything. Okay, the whole idea is to deceive, to trick, to impede, to stop, and that is what I've suffered historically by these people. But I guess because I know the laws and I do know I'm very knowledgeable, so that's been my advantage. And I'm also assertive, I because it's about me, and I'm one of these people, I can't tolerate lying. They say, oh, she complains about everything, but you know what? If I didn't complain about anything, I wouldn't have been able to actually prove trafficking in persons case and a conspiracy. But it is internal. They are inciting the game. And it's actually quite serious. So it's quite easy to actually show the sabotaging, the interference, the switching, and all those things taking place. But actually killing a child, it's illegal, okay, even an unborn child, and there's a time frame for abortion. I don't believe in abortion. I will never do anything like that because it's against my belief, my Christian belief, and it's I believe it's murder. I don't like it, and I don't like abortion, full stop. But I have found that what I've gone through, other people have tried to force their beliefs on me. Okay, so it's intentional. And this is the danger about the system, is that these other religions and cultures, they see the advantage of taking over somebody else's belief. They want to do the opposite. They want to abuse, to humiliate you. That's what they're doing. It's actually really serious, and you name it, they've done it to me. And it's been absolutely inhumane. So if anything happens to the mother and the child, that's 2 lives the corporate bodies will be charged for. Conspiracy to commit murder even now, or afterwards it's actually murder of 2 people. So, but that is the laws, and I'm just trying to explain to you so you know how serious it is. So here it is. Killing an unborn child is 14 years imprisonment. Okay, so there are laws for everything. So if you don't know your laws, or just even know the basics, find out. I recommend you learn about your human rights and your Bill of Rights. If a doctor tells you or forces you or tells you information you're not sure of, if you can afford it, get a second opinion. But if you don't want to do what they say, you say, I want to exercise my Bill of Rights, and say no. Okay, because they can't do anything without your consent. Okay, but I have found doctors have been forcible. Okay, cases like mine, I'm just like, I don't trust them, because I believe that, if they got given the opportunity, especially with my kind of case, what I've gone through, you know, they will probably kill me under anesthetic. Okay, so there you go. You hear it from my mouth. So this is what actually trafficking in persons entails. The individual is actually in lockdown. But we've got all these people surveillancing us, and we don't even know who the heck they are. We don't know who's spying on us. All we know is probably an ex-murderer or, you know, gang members. They don't show us any license or anything like that, and they expect us to act normal and pretend no one is watching. But everyone can feel it when they're being spied on. Common senses, you just listen to your, you know, your gut instinct and just be careful, because I have found that over the years, I've just lived normally and do normal things, and they've actually interpreted it to use it to build a case against me. Yeah, it's not anything like you know, how they're actually interpreting it. Like, for an example, I remember when being a single mother, I would give one of my children my FPOS card and I'll let them use it. And so as they grew older, they'd give me their FPOS card, and then I would use their FPOS card, because, you know, we just did that because we're family. But, you know, other people who are spying on you, if, you know, that they're actually like interpreting things their own words, and they can actually say, oh, well, you just committed fraud using somebody else's FPOS card. I'm just using that as an example, because this is what they're doing under surveillancing. They're spying on people, and they are trying to create evidence to use against individuals. That's why it's so important to be aware of your environment. And if you don't know the laws, find out. I think the best place you could go to is Citizen Advice Bureau. Go in there and just find out, see if somebody can just give you a tip of what is it that will protect you. But I think the first two ones you should know is the human rights law and the Bill of Rights, okay? Because all you have to say to them is, no, I don't want to do that. I exercise my Bill of Rights, and then that's the end of that. But that is why we have laws, is to protect us as an individual. If you're unsure, take somebody with you as a support person to talk on your behalf, or just be there for you on whatever circumstance you're in. So this is one of the charges. I will probably be charging all the other body corporates. I don't think I've added that on to the 929 charges with the Ministry of Health. But I believe that what they've done to me with the Māori Treaty and with what the government's doing, they've actually, I didn't realise this, but they're actually anything to do with my court case or with me or with the relationship scams, because they're linked to the government. They're actually treating me like an object. Like, that's not fair, because I'm a human being. What the judges should have done, right, going back to 2016, what they should have done is transfer my case to the criminal jurisdiction and then get a criminal barrister to take over if they felt I wasn't competent enough. Well, obviously I am, because I've been doing it myself. All they've done is they've just seen the opportunity to use somebody for a pecuniary advantage without their consent. And that's what's happened historically. And this is where the illegal commonwealth comes in, because everybody's trying to stick up for their family's reputation and for their friends' reputation who are actually their defendants. But this is where the public scrutiny comes in, and innocent civilians getting caught up in things they know nothing about. But the old court system, anything to do like home invasion or serious fraud or murder cases like what has happened in my life, a breach is a breach. And then all those laws that are covered, or all the name suppressions covered, those set of circumstances are all wiped out, meaning they don't exist, because it's a serious violent offence. It's a criminal indictable, it's called. I thought they'd gotten rid of that word indictable, but it still actually exists in the legislation. but they do call it serious violent offences, but it means the same thing. But in the old court system, with a serious conspiracy, with what's happened to me, like home invasion, all those all those laws are washed out. They're not. What I'm saying is, they no longer have that authority or power, to actually protect the defendants, whether they are dead or alive, if they're part to a crime or that is dug up. The whole idea is to make sure that they have got the right person who's committed the crime, to make sure that there isn't any other serial, people connected to what I've gone through, because I have found over the years they've let the dust settle and then they've attacked me. So it's been continuous, and the most dangerous thing about it, it's global, so nobody is safe. But anyway, so I think I will end my clip there, and I'll see you in my next clip. I'll probably try and keep in the moment, just for safety issue and a learning process for everybody. And yeah.